Hello everyone, in this video we'll see Python basics, numbers, strings and list. We move to our coding session directly. Here I have the Visual Studio code setup. I have new file created called hello.py and I'm just checking whether the code is executing or not. Hello got printed. First we'll see the numbers. We'll write some arithmetic operations. We can write all those functions directly in the print statement itself. So I'm writing print. We are writing 2 plus 2 as addition, and I'm copying the same for subtraction, and same thing for multiplication and for division. Just right click and run the code. Here you have the output printed. For example, here I'm saying to 3 and run the code. Here I got the correct result. When you're using this division symbol, you will always get the floating point number, so you must change round it off, or you have to convert to some integers so that you can get as just a number, an integer number. Okay, the next thing is there are some advanced operations are there with the arithmetic itself, not in much advanced. uh, for example, you can give it as by 3. What the result you will get is you'll get a big floating point number. In order to give it as a floor division, you have to use double division, so you'll get only this number 5. So in order to flow this, and you don't need any other fractional part, just use this double division. And when you find the modulo operations, like you can shift 5 and run the code, you'll get this 2. I'm just clicking CLS. Here you can get this 2. So what this is mean is 17 divided by 3, you will get 15, and the remaining is 17 minus 15. That's the 2 answer you're getting here. Okay, and the next thing is you can use these kind of operations like expressions based. For example, 5 into 3 plus 2, the answer you'll get is 17, because the variable separation is done by the arithmetic operators like plus or minus. So 5 into 3 15 plus 2 17. That's the answer you're getting. Next is power operations. Power operations, you can give it a, you will get 2 like 3. These kind of powers you would have seen in other programming language, but in Python you can use double star. For example, if you want to square number 5, you can use double star 2. You can right click and run. Here you will get as a 25. So this is not only for squaring the numbers, you can give any number like 7 and 2. You can give run, you're getting 128. The right answer here. Okay, the next is we'll declare some variables and we'll write it like width equal to 10. You no need to give this kind of semicolon in Python, that is not required. And height equals 15, and you can multiply that number and store it somewhere like dimension equal to width star height, and you can directly print this number here D. Okay, just right click, run. 150. I got the answer. Okay, now I'm using a new variable like C, what happens is we never declared this kind of C variable above. So it's here itself it's popping up as C is not defined by the pylons. So what happens, we'll see. We should get runtime error. So you can see here at runtime the name error came as C is not defined. So we should know, in order to use one variable you must declare it in prior and then you have to do it. That's the reason it's throwing on error. Okay, that finishes up the basic numbers and then we can move to the string part. There are like integer, floating point number, and a lot of numbers are there, double numbers. So that and all we'll see in advanced session, but here just gives an introduction about those numbers. Next we move on to the string part. Okay, string, you know this already in when you are in other programming language doing with that. uh, str equals some group of characters are called strings that will be denoted within the double quotes. In other programming languages you would have seen that one quotation stands for a character and double quotation stands for a string, but that is not concerned in Python. str2 you can give as double quote. String2, for example I'm printing these strings, str and print str2, right click, run the code. Here we got the output as strings and string2. So this is not a concern as of now, but what order it comes inside of the string, it matters. When you have combined these two, that's different, and when I just give it as a double quote, that's different. We'll see some of the string literal examples and then you will understand what does that mean, and we'll see some of the character escape. We just declared a string and saw these. Next we'll see some escape characters. For example, we'll write does not. What we write is, here we have to escape this one. So in order to escape you have to give slash. So slash comes, so this next quote treated as a escaped character. I'm just running this. Here we got this correct answer as, doesn't it? Okay, now we'll use this double quote inside of this single quote and we'll see what happens. Like yes, they said. Okay, right click and run. Yeah, it printed with this double quote also. So here you can write this double quote and check, because the outer part is different and the inner part is different. The outer parts is perfectly fine, so that's the reason it's taking these slashes, these quotes, sorry. Okay, now let's do this, some of the good string operations. We saw that tabbed escape sequence. For example, you are giving a path like this, C, like dar1 slash name. Here this kind of errors you may come across. Here this slash n stands for the new line character. For example, I'm typing this one, new line character. I'll write one more example, string str2 equal to hi slash n hello. We'll see what this returns is in next line it will come. you can see this hi and hello because n is a new line character. But when you are encountering this kind of n, then you have to just remove this slash and all. Some people will use double slash, some people will use in some other r kind of thing. Here these are all the things which makes you to understand this string literals. Here it is showing as a, here this red color is not stands for a wrong one. It's perfectly fine because it's Pylance does not give you any indication that this is wrong. So this is a correct sequence. Just you can right click and run the code. There is two, so I'm changing to str. Okay, here you got this escaped sequence with R. So this is perfectly fine. Next is times operator. Times operator, here I have a string like hi, and I need like hi 3 to 4 times. What I do is I'm removing this str and I'm declaring it as this one as str. Here I'm just giving us 3 star. So what I output I'll get is here hi 3 times. This called multiplicator operation, but that literally 3 times will gives you the result. And directly you can concatenate the string here also. Hello, right click, run the code. Here you can see the result as hi and hello. So the concatenation here, it's very simple. The next kind of concatenation is you can just write 2 line. Here I'm giving 2 phrase hi, and here I'm giving one more quote hello, and this is also a concatenation. This is perfectly executable code. You can just give it as print s, run the code. You can see this hi hello. Even though you are giving one space in middle of this hi and hello, this should be working fine. Run the code, and here we got the concatenation. But if you are giving the spaces inside of these 2 brackets, so it will gives you an actual brace. Here you can see the result. You have some space in middle of it. Okay, this is working perfectly fine. Then there is a prefix or suffix. You can use it you can write it as prefix, and you can append it anywhere in the string, like prefix here hello. It should work. Run code. Here you can see hello and hello. Okay, now my task is to access one of the characters in the string. So I'm declaring a perfect string hi hello, and I need to access a second or third like that. And how do we do it is the string supports the indexing. So prefix of, you can give the array brace, and you can give the which character you want to get. There is some concept called slicing or substring. We can see in the upcoming lines. So I'm giving as 2. Here I got this letter 0 1 2. You know this indexing always starts from 0 1 2. So the character what the position 2 is, comma, that's it. And then I can just print some of the other characters also. Control C. 3 and 4. Run the code. Here you can see this comma E and H. I'm clearing and running again. Command E and H are printed. Okay, can we give some negative character in this one? Because in other programming we have seen only the positive as index numbers. So but here it will support the negative characters also. So what I'm doing is I'm giving -2. So run the code. You can see there is letter called L is printed. There is nothing wrong with this operator negative index in Python. So how do we explain is we'll get literally a two arrays. How did support say last characters or negative integers is you can from end you can write it as -1, -2, -3 and -4 like this. When you have this negative index like this, it should print from last 0, from last 2, from last 3, from last 4. So it should print the hello in the reverse like OLLEH. Then Python supports the word slicing, and this is a kind of a slicing operator itself, this index operator. So what I'm doing is I'm printing print s. You have to give this colon as separator for start and finish. First number is inclusive and last number is excluded. So what I'm doing is 0 from it starts from 0 and it starts from 3 insert 3. So run this code 0 1 2, which means here it is started at 0 and ends before this number. This is excluded, so 3 minus 1 2, from until 2 it will be printed. So we'll see one more time 3 2 4. Run the code. You can just give for an example, you can give this number and check, but it handles internally. Even though if you're giving after than this number, it will find the end of it and finishes it. Okay, but if you want to substring, you can just give it as from 2 to 4 like this. For example 2 to 4 you can give and run the code. Here you got this double L. Let me just clear this. Run. You got this double L. From 2 and 3 are there, and you can give here only one number also. It's not necessary that two numbers are always present. So here I'm giving as an empty and then 3. It should start from 0. So what it gives, we'll see. We'll run the code. It gives from 0 it's starting and until 2 it's printing. It's the same condition is applicable for the next number, like exclusive numbers also. Like you can give just to 2 and you can leave the next number as blank, which means until end of the string you are taking. So you can just right click and run the code. As you can see here from 2 it's picked up and it ended until the end of the string. And you can give the negative index also as -2 and you can run the code. From last 2, minus means I told from last 2, from last 2 to end of the string. You can now give minus here and there and you can play around, and you can give this 2 and 1 like this and all, and I can check there nothing is there. There is no such conditions there because that's not possible, because this number is it's not valid. So you can use this. Okay. The only drawback we have with string, it's you get as a error, this kind of assignment error. The thing is string are immutable, so when you are giving as this index 2 and you're assigning some g and you're printing this as s, run the code. Here you will get this error that it does not support item assignment. So this is called, you are mutating the string, so this is not supported. This is called immutability of the string. Okay, in order to use this as a mutable and all, we have to go with the list. Here we have the list section. We'll see what's our list. Now list are group of items, like it can be a similar item or dissimilar item, that's not matter at all in Python. Here you have is list. How do we declare this? You can give one variable like s, the same in array braces. You can give 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and then you can print the s. This is just a list. You can see here the list is printed. I'm just clearing this and printing this. This is a plain list. Here you can mute it, like I'm giving 5, run code. Here you can see this is changed, which means this is a mutable kind of data structure that available in Python. So I'm deleting it, and you know this one will support indexing, so I'm giving 0 and copying and pasting as for 1 2 3. You can just see this 1 2 3 and 4, run. These all elements are printed. Same thing I'm giving for a negative indexed. You can give -1, -2 and -3 and -4. Right click, run. You know this minus supports in Python, and it starts, it's literally like from the end it will start. And you can use this kind of ranges like s. You can use 0 colon. I'm removing these old items and copy and paste for 3, and sub items like sub array you can give us 2 to 4. You can give some exceeding numbers also like 41, and right click, run the code. All of them gives their corresponding results. For first line I'm just printing as s, and second line I'm printing from starting from 0, so it started from 0 to end, it is printed. I'm printing until the number indexed to 2, so 1 2 3 is printed, and I'm taking next line, I'm taking the subset of this list, so 2 and 3 and 4 will be printed. It starts from 2 and ends before this number, and then I'm giving a number out of this over the limit, so I'm giving the, but the actual answer is getting printed. And the next thing is you can give -1, like -3 I'm giving, run code. You'll get, I told you that negative number started from the end, so 3 to 5 is printed here. Okay, the next thing is here we can do many operations like concatenations. Here we have one more v, like it's having 5 6 7 and 8. I'm concatenating s and v. We'll see. Just run this, and this is successfully concatenate as 6 5 6 and 7. Okay, in this existing one itself I need to add some of the elements. So Python has been given as a variety of operations. You can see in this IntelliSense itself, sort, append, next, reverse. I can just go and append one operator like 56, and here directly you can, in append function itself, you can do this multiplication operations. This kind of tasks are all supported. You can right click and run the code. Here you can see those 56 is added, and 6 into 7 is added at the end. Okay, then you want to replace some of the items. means you can go and replace these items as V. From where to where you have to write it. For example, I'm giving from starting index 0 to 2, which means the first two items I'm giving as a 10, 11, and run this. Here you can see this two items like 6 and 7 is getting replaced by 10 and 11. That's working fine. And you can give it as a void also. You can just give it as empty. Run the code, and these two are removed. Only 8 is there. So these kind of simple operations is applicable in the list. The next is I have this list and this list, S list and V list. How to make one more list with these two, like X equals, you can give S comma V, and this is a new list, and I can print this X. Right click, run. Here we have this one list and two list. All together is one more list. That's nothing but X. Okay, let's wind up the 3 sessions of numbers, strings, and list, and we'll see the other topics in the next video. Thank you for watching.